I'm at an impasse, folks, so we may as well get this over with. I am MegamanNG, and I welcome you all to a Rise of the TMNT episode review. This episode review is actually a long one because the episode we got is 30 minutes long. We're going to be talking about episode 7, Bug Busters. And I'm going to have a field day with this one, so here's the deal. I'll provide a summary as well as some of the main points. And there are a lot. Let us begin. The Turtles are on the move, trying to find a way to rid New York City of the Oozesquitoes. They're located in a hotel that is more than meets the eye. A failed attempt later, and an innocent clerk becomes a mutant bull monster. Then they meet the one in charge of this hotel, Big Mama. She wants the Turtles to find the Oozesquitoes, but what is her real goal? Her real objective? Will the Turtles contain this Oozesquito menace? And what of Baron Draxum? Is all of this going to lead into a big civil war or what? Yeah, new episode review, new review. Is it pretty obvious? This here is 30 minutes long. Not only that, but it also means I'm going to have to be at work right now reorganizing every episode review by their proper episode number. This also means having to fix up all the title cards and everything. It's going to be a pain in the butt, but what can you do? But if you haven't figured this out, this episode and the title itself are nods to Ghostbusters, especially at the beginning of the episode when they enter a hotel room trying to hunt down Oozesquitoes. Just like how Peter, Venkman, and the other one, Ray, trying to hunt down their first ghost, Slimer, in the hotel in the Sedgwick. Ain't that funny? It makes me now want to watch the original Ghostbusters movie. But anyway, yeah, the episode's plot has the Turtles trying to stop the Oozesquito menace, but they not only have to contend with the likes of Baron Draxum, but also a new threat in the form of Big Mama. And boy, Big Mama is as threatening as she comes. One minute she's all innocent and like, the next, you don't even want to know, trust me. So yeah, it's gonna be quite an episode, that's for sure. But yeah, this episode also does make the debut of Big Mama. Now the weird thing about this, I'm reminded of Big Mama from Metal Gear Solid 4, Guns of the Patriots. But yeah, Big Mama in this show is portrayed by Lena Headey. I can't even get her last name done right, but yeah, she did a pretty good job portraying Big Mama, but she also has this sort of Jekyll and Hyde personality. Not just by how her voice is, but also how she looks. And how she looks. She starts off as being a calm, nice, generous person who pretty much has a haven for all mutants. But she refers to mutants as yokai. I'm getting Yokai Watch vibes from this. I don't know why, but it just is. I mean, it's not that I have anything wrong with it. It's just that I find it to be rather different. I still call them mutants because if they were ingested by the Oozesquitoes or infected with mutagen, that's the result. But here they just call it yokai. I don't know. It's just that they see it very differently, especially with both her and Baron Draxum. And yes, Baron Draxum makes a return. We haven't seen this guy since the first episode, Mutant Mayhem. He returns, and like Big Mama, he's after the Oozesquitoes. Not to mention, he also wants revenge against the Turtles for foiling his plans at the very beginning. This episode, oh boy, where do I even start? This episode was awesome. This episode had also a plethora of cameos, not only showing previous villains, but also villains that have similar looks. I mean, in one scene where you see Baron Draxum and Big Mama discussing on how mutants are handled, you actually get to see some cameos. And yeah, we gotten cameos of Hypnopotamus and Meat Sweats, as well as the mutant Silverfish and Repo Mantis, and Todd Capybara. But we also get cameos of classic villains, such as Bebop, Rocksteady, Leatherhead, Armageddon, and Half-Court. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we get adaptations of them in this show. If we did, that would make it all the more giddy. Yeah, I really like that these animators really nailed it on these nods. Really did well on it, big time. I really like it. But it also just makes the episode all the more satisfying. But hey, I'm enjoying it, so what can you do? But also, we learn that yes, Draxum and Big Mama know each other. Not all of it is good. Judging by how the two are battling each other in that later scene is proof of that. And we actually get to see how dangerous Draxum is. Draxum is a big bad for a reason, and he beats down Big Mama like she was nothing. All I can say is just, wow. No wonder he's going to end up being the big bad for the show. Move aside, Shredder. Jeez. And seeing that this is a 30-minute episode, this one has it all. You have action, you have comedy, you have some suspense, and some revelations. Sorry, it's just I'm in a rush and I'm about to leave to get dinner. The animation is stellar throughout. It just makes it all the more enjoyable, and I really like it. In some instances, the animation can just change on a whim. It just makes the episode so vibrant and so lively. I mean, it's just insane. It really is, because I swear, these guys making 30-minute episodes and deliver stuff like this, that's worth it. And I've seen their shows being like 11 minutes long. This makes up for it greatly. I love it. But we also get ourselves some revelations, like I said. The fact that, yes, Baron Draxum is responsible for creating the turtles. And that's an interesting twist. Being that this is a different TMNT, it not only gives the show a bit of freedom in providing something new, but also a little spin on things. You guys know that we always know the origins, that 4 turtles were covered in mutagen, and they ended up becoming TMNT, which kind of makes sense. Here, however, it's interesting because it's the big bad who ends up creating the heroes that it's going to end up taking him down. What a twist. Although not everyone's going to like it. But hey, I'm not going to complain at this because this episode was good. There were plenty of highlights. Too much to count, especially since they also mentioned the Battle Nexus. Big Mama is in charge of the Battle Nexus, where many mutants do battle to see who's champion. This is pretty much a nod to the 2003 series, where Season 2 would end with a Battle Nexus, a tournament where warriors from all over the universe compete to be champion. And guess who ends up becoming champion? Michelangelo. And he becomes champion and brags about it throughout the rest of the series, which to me was my only fault. Now it makes me wonder if we'll ever see a Battle Nexus arc in this show. Who knows? Also, yeah, the turtles were dressed up in armor, and they were trying to be like Ghostbusters. Rather poorly. I couldn't help but laugh seeing them try to contain the bugs and trying not to break anything because the hotel clerk was going nuts, and for some reason he did kind of sound like Haran. I could be wrong. Not to mention we had many cameos. The cameos that I mentioned earlier, there were plenty of those, and the big battle for the Oozesquitoes, which was another highlight, as well as the revelation, as well as the fact that Raphael was tapping into his weapon's power and being able to save his brother, turning giant, which has Leo really curious about it. But this may actually prove to make this show rather interesting. I like how they make it better, but hey, I know that not many people are going to enjoy it. But to those who haven't, give it a chance. You will like it. I promise that it will not disappoint. Despite their efforts, yeah, it's a hollow victory. Or rather in this case, a complete failure. Yeah, the turtles couldn't they couldn't get the Oozesquitoes, and the Oozesquitoes are out there and who knows what. Which means now the turtles are going to have to work even harder to get them all back. This is going to really stink for the turtles, I swear it really is. And the fact that Baron Draxum is still out there is still an issue. He's still a big threat. And who knows what's going to happen, especially since Draxum is the one who created the turtles. So this will prove to be rather interesting. My final score? I'm sorry, but I know some of you may disagree with me, but I don't care. This episode gets a perfect 10. Everything about this is awesome, from the references, to the turtles being all outright hilarious, not to mention very daring, to the debut of Big Mama, the return of Baron Draxum, an all-out brawl. Everything about it screams perfect. Now, I could be wrong with this because remember, all of my reviews are opinionated, and I really do enjoy this episode greatly. But yeah, I hope that maybe we get more of these episodes down the line. It'll give me more of a reason to provide more thoughts than just having it be all short. But heck, like I said, I could be wrong. So I have to ask, what do you guys think of this episode? Was it good? Was it bad? Do you feel that the episode needed a bit of improvement? Let me know what you think in the comments, and I look forward to hearing from all of you. And if you also wonder why this episode review is rather late, let's just say that I have to, I'm going out with family. And if you're watching this right now, that means I've gotten back and I've gotten the video up. So yeah. Be a bit patient with me, because I'm trying to get a lot of work done. Not to mention I got Let's Go Eevee, and I have to work on that too. So that is going to be it for this episode review of Rise of the TMNT. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did, and if not, hey, I try. I really do try, because I'm not the best TMNT review, and I at least do my best on it regardless. Not to mention I have a lot of work organizing all the episodes in the proper order. This is not going to be easy for me. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to hit the like button. It really does mean a lot to me. Please do not forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and more importantly, click on the bell. Doing all of this helps me out greatly. And if you want to support the channel, consider supporting me on Patreon. All it takes is $1 a month. But if you want a shout out at the end of every video that I upload at the end with the title card and everything, it's $5. There's that. This is MegamanNG signing off. Peace out. See you next week. Cowabunga!